Hello guys, good morning. So today we'll be talking about my journey so far as an MSc student in global healthcare management, any regrets I have, my next steps, and then probably the grades I had during the program, as well as advice to those also intending to come for their MSc or those already in their MSc, like how they could literally perform better and be the best at what they do. Welcome back, guys. It's your girl again, Nikki Chioma. I know you guys missed me. Don't mind me, I've been MIA for a while. That was because the last set of coursework I had to submit this semester was very demanding and engaging. And being a perfectionist, I just wanted to put in the best and get the best results, so I don't have any regrets when results start being released. So I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our subscribers. Thank you. And if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to click on the subscription button so you get to be notified when I make new videos. And obviously every of my videos are very informative and educative, so you definitely gain something from watching my videos. So I'll be waiting to see you. Click on that subscribe button. So let's dive into what we have today. So here in my papers, I've drafted I have a foul scrap writing, so you literally not see what I have written, but I've literally drafted key areas we'll be talking about today. So the first one is my MSc journey in the UK. How has it been? Reflecting back to when I came to the UK, which was on the 10th of March, when I arrived here and how it has been, I would say that in my first semester, it was really a horrible experience for me, because I think there was no day that passed that I wasn't crying in my first semester, because I was like, when you mean backward, imagine having to be submitting coursework on the plane, you're going to look for accommodation, you're submitting coursework, it was a horrible experience. Staying in the hotel for almost a month, it wasn't funny. The bills I had to pay, I wasn't settled in. It was then I went back to the job search. It wasn't funny. I was literally applying for jobs and I was just getting, oh sorry, unfortunately. So I wasn't really getting where it was coming from and all that. And it was much more challenging, being that I had no one, no friends. The friends I knew now, I wasn't really close to them back then in Nigeria. So literally when I arrived, I had no close ally that I could say, okay, oh, this person would guide me on this person would guide me on that, and all that. And being that I am a very secretive person, I generally do not like bugging people with my personal problems. That's just me. But at the end of the day, I really had to reach out to friends and they were able to guide me through on what to do and what not to do. So however, my first semester results were not very good. They were horrible. They were very horrible, and I could blame that on the ups and downs I had to go through and all that before I finally sorted out my accommodation and got my BRB, sorted out academic work, classes and everything, got my ID card, my NI and every other stuff, and then also sorted out work. Moving on, I think it's been a journey of growth for me. I would say it was a journey of growth, because I got to learn and I got to improve upon things that I already knew. If what I know now, I would literally not have known them if I wasn't given the opportunity to be here to learn more and better at what I do. I'll use a very common example of what I experienced. I usually used to feel that I was a good writer back in Nigeria. I was whoa, literally, that was the mindset I had coming here, that definitely I would never have any challenges with coursework, with exams and all that, because of course I was a pharmacist, and for me to have survived pharmacy school, there is literally nothing I wouldn't go through. One thing I forgot was that in Nigeria we're not taught critical writing. You literally just have to draft your assignments or your work anyhow. What the lecturers wanted was to see that you have answered the question. They didn't want to see how you arrange your work, if it's chronologically flowing, if it's coherent, if it's clear, like if it made sense, like if it was logical. Like nobody wanted to see that. So, but basically the UK educational system, like it thrives in such, especially when it comes to like academic work. They expect your work to flow in chronological order. They expect your work to be coherent. They expect you to write as a level 7 master student, nothing less. Like your typographical errors or poor use of verbs, pronouns, adjectives and all that are like they end up bringing you down. So like these were the things no one told me. So, and I had to learn the hard way with my first semester grades. Like I literally had to learn the hard way. So but thus far it's been like from first semester to second semester and then to the last semester, it's been like it was amazing. Like I have grown and I have evolved, and I think I'm better now compared to the girl who came on the 10th of March. I'm way better, more confident, more bold. My IQs are very, very functional. Don't mind me, they were very, very functional back then. Yeah. So let's move to the second question. Was it worth it? Was the MSc in Global Healthcare Management worth it? I'd say yes and I would say no. Now let's talk about the good part first. Yes, because I have learned skills and I have learned like I can apply various management tools like I never knew existed. Like I could produce an excellent research work now, even though I did some research work as an undergraduate student in pharmacy. But if I literally brought my project, like we call it in Nigeria, to compare with my dissertation here in the UK, there's no comparison. Despite that I had an A during my undergrad days, but it wouldn't like, they would literally be like, no, it can't be the same person, because I have had to grow. So yes, that was worth it. The fact that I have improved academically, like I'm better at writing, I'm better at problem solving, I'm better at identifying problems, I'm better at applying vast management tools. So yes, I'm better at project management. So those actually were worth it. Now let's move on to the part that why I said no. Now personally, the section where I said no is because as a pharmacist, I think I would blame myself for that. I didn't do a proper research before coming to say I want to do global healthcare management. Now if I had done proper research, I would have realized that an OSPAP would have been way better for me to have done than an MSc. Yes, an MSc, the MSc is eventually going to be helpful to me, but I felt moving from, okay, when I mean OSPAP is like my conversion program to practice as a pharmacist here in the UK. So if I had literally done that before going in for an MSc, like it would be like a smooth ride. It wouldn't be too expensive to like now cover my masters. But being that I have moved from masters to OSPAP, so raising like literally what I paid for my masters, I paid, that was £16,600. But what I would have done my OSPAP with would have been like, let's say £11,000. And funny enough, the OSPAP program is made in such a way that you could also come up with a master's when you're done with the program. So yes, that's why I said it wasn't really worth it, because if I knew better, if I had the information that I had, I would have rather preferred to go through that way. But nevertheless, there are opportunities for me. And when I talk about opportunities, I know that my colleagues don't buy the same ideas as what I say. But when I mean that there are opportunities, I mean that you could actually go on to further develop yourself in courses and vibe and practical skills to like become a manager in any setting. It could be the healthcare, pharmaceuticals, anywhere, but you can be a healthcare manager. And also you can be a project manager, you can be a researcher, because practically you have developed research skills. You can be a data analyst, anything whatsoever. Like they are all, I think maybe the global healthcare management course is kind of like broad, so it's like encompassing some aspects of the UK job market. So you could, but the problem we as international students are having is that the UK job market thrives in UK based experience. So that is like my major setback, because I know, like, I've literally applied for so many job roles. There was a role I applied for as a pharmacovigilance officer. I was successful in the interview. I had all the skills and all the technical know-how, because of course I was a head of department in Nigeria. I was like a HOD of pharmacy department in Nigeria for some years. So I definitely had all the skills, all the technical know-hows, everything to like effectively be a pharmacovigilance officer. And we literally did pharmacovigilance reporting in Nigeria and in the hospitals where I've worked. So it wasn't like a vague area of practice or something. But funny enough, why I didn't get that role was when it got to the point of, oh, what experience you have? I say, yeah, I have experiences in Nigeria. They wanted a UK based experience. So that was like what caught it for me. But basically, I think we international students, we find it difficult volunteering, because most volunteering roles, sincerely, I won't lie to you, most volunteering roles in the UK, they don't come with pay. And you have people that literally just paid the first batch of their school fees, let's say 4,000, 3,000, and they still have like 8,000 or 10,000 left to pay. And instead of them to get a job that is going to like help them clear those bills, you are advising them to get a job that is going to give them experience. To me, I know in the long run is worth it, but that's not wisdom. Yeah, I will literally say that's not wisdom, because if I get those skills and I can't foot my bills, I won't be having those jobs. I will be back in my home country, because home office will definitely send me back. So I think that's not like the wisest advice anyone can give to anybody that is doing a master's. So that's why I said it's not worth it. Let me not explain too much. So grades, let's talk about the grades. First semester, I did like a total of 3 courses, but they all had two assessments. Yeah, they would have 2 assessments. I had like 4 C's and 2 A's. Yeah, first semester, 4 C's, 2 A's. Yeah. Then by second semester, because another thing I learned here is the fact that constructive feedback. Yeah, I love the constructive feedback from UK. I don't know about if it's like a general UK, but particularly from my school, it was very helpful. Back in Nigeria, we don't have that. You just have a pass or a fail. Nobody tells you the reason why you failed. So you just know that you failed. So you don't even know where you did well and where you need to improve. You just know that you failed. But here, through the feedbacks, I was able to identify that my major problem was in critical writing. Totally explaining or being explicit with explanation of what you're saying, like backing whatever point you have made with evidence, with proofs, with references, validating that what you said is actually, like, for instance, if I'm given to talk about the pros and cons of COVID-19, I'll literally, with my knowledge, educational knowledge in Nigeria, I'll just state it out, the pros and cons. But when we talk about criticality, you want to tell us what is COVID-19, how did it come about, what significant milestone have we been able to achieve in the presence of COVID, what did we not achieve in the presence of COVID, what can be done differently if COVID was to come again, what technologies are needed in place to help fight COVID-19. By the time I'm done addressing all of these topics, it brings out the criticality in my work. My work becomes thorough. I've ended up addressing key component areas that would have ended up making my work very strong. So that's just what I mean by criticality. So from the reviews or from the feedbacks I got from first semester, I was able to take courses because my school has an affiliation with LinkedIn Learning. So once you're a student of Coventry University, you have free access to courses on LinkedIn Learning. So I actually did take advantage of that, and also on Future Learn. So I did some courses on critical writing, critical thinking, logical writing, and all that. And I bet you it was very, very helpful, because by the release of second semester results, my results were like, I had 4 A's and 2 B's. That was how my results were. And even at that, it wouldn't have, even the B's would have been totally excluded, if not for some minor silly mistakes I made that actually brought the grade back to a B. So I'm not an ungrateful person. So I actually did see how I remarkably grew from C's to A's and B's, and that was like a milestone for me. So I didn't stop there. I also took more courses from the feedback I received, because normally what I do when my results come out, I don't just go look at the scores and I'm like, yay, I passed. Like, even with the ones that have A, I go to the feedback section. I go straight to the area of improvement. I may not have time to read what I did well, I just go straight to the area of improvement. What are you asking me to improve on? Or the feed forwards. I just draft them out in my diary and I keep them. So when next I'm doing, if they're like things that I need to learn or courses I need to do, I go and do those courses. But if they're like things I need to pay attention to, like there was a time I had a feedback like, try using the coursework brief. So you know that you don't need to go do any online courses for that. All you need to is like, when you're giving a coursework, you just print out your coursework brief and follow every detail, like everything they've asked you to do there. So like basically by third semester I only did 3 courses, a CMI certified course and my dissertation, and then my portfolio, the portfolio module. Like the portfolio module has been like, it's like a continuous professional development module. Like from the start of your MSc, it just like gives a story of how you have transitioned, the action plans you've taken, the personal development plan you've had, and how you've accomplished them over the months of your MSc, what you look forward to doing. Like basically that was just it. So it was just 3 courses I did this third semester, and we're assigned supervisors, and it was a very remarkable experience. Because at first I was a bit skeptical about the supervisor I was assigned to, but being an open-minded person, I was like, okay, let's just dig this. And getting to know him, I realized that it was the best. It was the best supervisor that was ever given to me. So like with his guidance and everything, I did my dissertation. Like it was like, we're just like back and forth. Anything I do, I send it to him. I need his vetting. He makes the correction. He sends it back to me. You should do this. You should do that. Yeah. So I think the results were released this week. Yeah, I'll say this week. So I've seen 2. It's remaining 1, and that's not like, it's not like a Coventry University course. The third one, which is the CMI Chartered Management Institute course. So I think it's the CMI people that would release that results when they are ready. But basically, the major 2 that concerns me are my portfolio module and then my dissertation. And sincerely, these 2 courses, I'll say particularly my dissertation, it made me very anxious, because I was like skeptical about like, how would it be, like would I make it, because it's the dissertation that would tell whether I'm going to be graduating with a distinction or not. And trust me, come on, distinction look good on me. Come on, it does look good on me. And for the hard work, the sleepless nights, and the effort I've put into this academic journey, like I went into it like I needed to prove a point. And truly, yes, I needed to prove a point, because I've had a history of people telling me, you can't do this, you're a failure, you're that. So yes, those things actually affected me back in pharmacy school. Like I literally had a lecturer who was like, on my matter, he was like very specific that you will never graduate as a pharmacist in this faculty, you are going to fail out. And to the glory of God and my hard work, I became a pharmacist. So ever since then, it's been like something that has been there. I just want to prove a point that I'm a success. I'm not a failure. Like there's nothing you put before me that I don't come out exceptional. I don't just want to come out right, or I want to come out exceptionally good. So it's a hunger, it's a desire, it's a thirst. So when people tell me you can't do something, I don't just do it. I do it in an exceptional way, just to prove the point to you that, hey, I'm good if I want to be, and if I don't want to be, if I want to be lackadaisical, I can be lackadaisical. But once I want to give something my best shot, I give it my best shot, and it's evident for all to see. I like literally what I had to do with my dissertation, even I was scared at some point. Like, you know when they say apply 2 management tools or apply 3 management tools, and just because you want to have a perfect work, you are applying like more than 5, 6 even management tools like you haven't been taught. I went ahead to do courses on them. Management, I had to, oh god, I can't say that, but like I was literally doing LinkedIn courses on some of the project management tools, and also going back doing my dissertation. Like it was like at some point, I think I remember one meeting with my supervisor, and he literally had to ask me like, who taught you how to use Pico? And I was like, I just did a course on it. And I said, and you just used it like maybe you've known how to use it all your life. I say yes. So it was like, good job to that girl, good job to that. So basically I just did that. So by the end of our last progress meeting, what he said to me just gave me that assurance that my results were going to be good. He was like, hey Nikki, you are an A candidate, and if anyone, or if the grades are being released and you don't have an A, I am personally going to fight it to make sure that it becomes an A, because this is a distinction. And I was like, yay. So when we left there, some people just want to try their luck. Oh, please, can we see your work? And definitely that's like against the code of ethics, because things could go wrong. Someone could just carry your work and put as their work, and both of you be facing the plagiarism panel or Center for Academic Writing or anything like. So I'm usually very skeptical about sharing my work with anyone. So I do not share my work. I just keep it to myself. Like, even courses that I've passed and colleagues along the road are coming to ask me for that same work. Sorry, I'm a bit skeptical with sharing, because I know what I want from the university. I know what my future ambitions are. So I can't start now to dent my records for someone's own personal interest. No, that won't work. So long story short, first semester results were released, and guess what? Your baby is a distinction candidate. Yes, so I don't want to give you the scores, because I know that my classmates are going to be watching this video and they'll be like, how did you do it? Okay, let's just say it. So I had a 75 in my dissertation, and then I had an 88% in my portfolio model. Guess what? They're usually skeptical about giving above 80 because they feel like they'll have to defend it. But I got 88%, like 88%. It's God not good. Like, I've literally been singing praises, rolling on the floor, thanking God for all that He has done for me. Because seriously, out of all the 3 courseworks I had to do this 3rd semester, it was only my dissertation. Like, I channeled all my energy to my dissertation because I felt like it needed to be an A. So it actually made me not to really do a thorough work. I didn't know that what I felt was not a thorough work was actually a thorough work. Like, I remember talking to someone, I was like, I don't even know if this thing I've done is good. Would they even give me 50 for this? Like, what kind of coursework? Please channel. Because I was surprised when the very last one that I didn't put so much effort in. But eventually, when I was going through the work and I saw that, see, you know one thing with perfectionists, even when we do a thorough job, we don't see it as a thorough job, because maybe we didn't sweat, we didn't experience any difficulty on the way, it was seamless. So when something is seamless to me, when it doesn't come with any stress, I don't feel like it was a thorough or it was a perfect work. So it's when I've experienced challenges, I'm like, oh, okay, this work is not good. So that's no problem with perfection. So you can excuse me on that. So yes, your girl is a distinction candidate too. And trust me, my friends couldn't hide it. Like, literally, I was trending everywhere yesterday when I shared the results with them. Like, I was literally trending everywhere. My mom couldn't stop singing and praising God. My uncle couldn't stop celebrating. My siblings were like, we told you, we told you. I remember one of my siblings saying, with this your small head, like, so you have book in this your small head. I was literally laughing. Like, I'm so excited that it actually ended this way, because, like, funny enough, I'm somebody that I speak what I want to see, and this is what I've always been saying from even when I got the admission. Like, I want to graduate with a distinction. I want to graduate with a distinction. I want to graduate. Like, I keep saying it. I will graduate with a distinction. When I finish my coursework, I place my hands on it. I pray, yes, I'm a core Christian. Everything in my life revolves around God, and I'm not apologetic about that, because I have been through a lot that humanly possible people wouldn't have been through and come out, but His grace saw me through. So I do not take that lightly for granted. So I am a God girl. I am a Jesus girl. So literally, I just place my hand on my screen and pray for the greater I want to see, and then turn in my work. Like, okay, so did you regret anything? Yes, I think I have one regret. The first regret I had was not reaching out to my friends that were already here doing their MSc on time, because I felt like if I had reached out to them in my first semester, my results wouldn't have been that way. Like, I would have gotten advice, counsel, do this way, do this way. Because, for instance, I'll call her name. Sandra was really one of my friends, her name is Sandra. She was very, very helpful to me when it came to my dissertation, because she literally, like, she was emphasizing on the Nikki, check for plagiarism, that can reduce your score. Check for plagiarism. And for many of you that don't know, like, my school has like a turn it in platform where we submit our coursework, so it gives us like the ability to also check for our plagiarism there, or you could use like other websites to check. So basically what I do, I try to submit coursework some days before the deadline, so like I can submit, paraphrase till I get a similarity score below 10%. Yeah, I usually go for below 10%, because I feel it's like a safe zone for me. That's just my personal conviction that I should be below 10%. So I kept like, imagine 6,000 words, I'll paraphrase, I'll submit again, I'll paraphrase, I'll submit. Because when I wanted to turn in that work, like everything she literally said was just re-echoing to me. Babe, paraphrase, check your plagiarism, check your plagiarism. So I kept checking. I made sure my references were in check because I've had a reference audio. Like I'll research the work instead of me to go save my reference in my ref work. I'll dump the reference, take the information I need from the article, and then when I'm about to submit the work, I start looking for my references. So I have to start all over again from the beginning to now start researching again, looking for where I found. So I had to like, I told myself, we're not going to procrastinate about references. So like I was meticulously doing an old woman pattern. Like I didn't just save it on my ref work, save it on a Word document. I also like wrote it down so that in case if I lost the one on the system, I wouldn't lose the one on paper that I wrote. Like if I told you the number of places I had to save my third semester works, like I saved them online, I saved them in my email, like they were literally everywhere, like they were literally everywhere. I sent some to like very trusted close friends that I know. Please keep a copy of my work with me, or in case if I miss it or my laptop gets corrupted or anything, so I can still have it. Because I was just like in a paranoid state where I was feeling like this is the last phase, this is the last phase. This is the phase where people their system crash, things happen and they end up not even graduating with a good grade. So I was just paranoid. So I was just trying to do everything the right way. So yes, those are the regrets I had. So, and I literally say to anyone listening to me right now that please, when you come to the UK, don't be shy to reach out to those who have already been there before you, because funny enough, they have a lot from their experience that they are going to teach you. Don't be shy, don't feel like you're being entitled. It's better to reach out and then the person doesn't respond than not to reach out to you, because you could never know if the person was going to respond or not. So reaching out to those of my friends that were here, like it was really very helpful for me because it improved everything I was doing. Like they pointed me towards the right direction, what to do, how to do it, and all that. Like okay, before now I used to use this paraphrasing app. I can't remember the name. Like it helps me to paraphrase my work, but then at the end of the day I realized that was the app I used in my first semester. I tried to find out the name, but I really can't remember the name anymore. I realized that by the time my first semester results came, I realized that was someone just gave me a review that was not a good paraphrasing app, because it doesn't paraphrase exactly it paraphrases to what it feels you are talking about, not what you are actually talking about. So I had to start using the Quillbot, and the Quillbot, trust me, I don't even use, like when I want to use my Quillbot, I place it on Fluency, because Fluency kind of like it brings emotion, it brings context into the paraphrasing. Like it paraphrases it, and the feelings in the writing can still be felt, not like in standard where it just paraphrases and you're like your work is sounding so authoritative and so commanding, like so. No, like I like emotions being expressed when I write. Like I literally want you to be like when people are reading my work, they literally just go I like to play with words, emotions, like bringing emotion, instead of me just saying that I'm going here. Like I could just play with words, like however, furthermore, peradventure, likewise. Like I just like to play with words and vocabularies just to give me a good work and all that. So what is next? Okay, there are lots of areas I'm looking out to explore next. There are so many areas. Like I'm also looking out to doing my OSPAP. That's like a possibility. A PhD, that's a possibility, and so on and so forth. So, but don't worry, there are things cooking in the pot. So, as I don't like sharing things before they happen, I rather prefer like telling it when they have already happened, because eventually, when they do or do not happen, enough makes you look like a liar. So let's just keep that one. We'll see as it unfolds. We'll see what Nikki holds. So, what advice you have to others? Okay, my advice to others would be start. That's the word I had to start. Quit procrastinating, because that was like a major problem I had. Like I'll do this time, I'll do this when, I'll do it like next year, I'll do it like. Quit procrastinating and start. And please do a thorough research about the school, research about the course. Please don't just research about the course like how is this course, is it easy to do? No, research about employability after the program. What is the employability rate? What would you have to do to get employed and all that? And yes, the best advice I can give to anyone is that yes, understand that majority of us are international students. We come not having the complete balance of our tuition fee, so we come with the aim of working to complete the tuition fee. But my advice would be, do not make the mistakes we all have made, because nobody told us, but then at the end we realized that, oh, this would have helped. Despite trying to make money to pay your tuition, you can volunteer an hour, you can volunteer 30 minutes. It all depends on you. You can volunteer towards, like, you can volunteer 1 hour into NHS. They have volunteer stuff. You go and tell them, okay, you want to volunteer to the management system because you're doing a course and you want to be a manager at the end of the day. Maybe your course is related to research or public health. Like, you just go to different institutions and volunteer. Maybe you are like a pharmacist, you don't want to practice with your license. There are other places you can volunteer to get practical skills that at the end of the day you can actually work in those settings, instead of just all running into care job and warehouse jobs. Where are those jobs again? They are just much, because despite that those jobs will help you raise your school fees. Yes, I don't take those jobs lightly. They will help you raise your school fees, but at the end of the day, they won't give you the experience that you can apply your masters to. You can't say because you did care job you now want to be a care home manager. It doesn't work that way. It's not that easy. Like, there are courses you need to do, there are things you need to do, except maybe you want to say, okay, you went to your care home manager and was like, oh, let me be volunteering 2 hours. Yes, okay, that can be helpful, and then you know that you can apply towards that way. But then, despite trying to work to raise money, put in areas or put in times where you can actually volunteer to that place you are aspiring, that dream job you want to have, like where you can volunteer and gain experience. Because funny enough, those experience are what will pave way for you when you're done with your masters, because that's what will distinguish you from your other colleagues. That's what will tell you apart. Because when it gets to the experience part and they are dropping people, and you'll be like, oh no, I already had the experience. I volunteered at this organization, I say this. I volunteered at this organization, I say that. I volunteered here, I say this. Like, so that like gives you the experience. And also try to do some online courses. It depends on your school. Like, most schools are affiliated with LinkedIn Learning, Future Learn, and other learning platforms where you can gain skills. Like, build up the skills, build up your CV, build up your LinkedIn profile. Because I know I got a job via LinkedIn. Like, I was just literally in my house. I was like, let me just update my LinkedIn profile, and I just put I'm a pharmacist, and that was how I got the pharmacovigilance job I told you guys about. So you have to like play with your CV on LinkedIn, tell them what you can do, all the skills, all the courses you've done, they are skills you've acquired. So you put that you are a certified this, you're a certified that, you're a certified that, you're a certified this. Like, just put it out, put yourself out there, let your CV, try to talk to people to know how best to arrange your CV. Because the same way we write our CV in Nigeria that you have to put your age and all that, no, they don't want to see your age, they don't want to see your references, because it's like you breaching confidentiality, sharing people's details up and down. That alone can make you not to even get a job. So you have to like find out how UK CVs are structured, what they want to see and what they don't want to see in your CV. Like, these are things I know that as the months goes by, I'll still keep sharing tips of what I did to secure jobs post MSc. So I will still keep like sharing the tips of what I did. Basically, like, these are my advice. Please create out time to volunteer in that area you want to practice, that area you want a job after your master's. Start now to start, because then, funny enough, you may not even know the place you're even volunteering might see the skills, might see your commitment, and they will just take you immediately you're done. Like, they'll just retain you. So it's not oftentimes about just doing care jobs. Like, at the end of the day, you now find people who would also now have to like go back to care job, because like many of us now, that's what we're like, that's like the last option, that's what we are left with. You now have to go back to that care job now that you have invested yourself and gained skills in, because that's the only place you'll be seeing jobs with sponsorship. You cannot now volunteer for a management role and then you want to get a management role when you don't have any UK based experience. Like, it doesn't work that way. So the last questions, what you missed out that you don't want others to miss out. I think I've literally answered this. Like, these are in this advice, like, try to reach out to people. Please try to reach out to people, especially people that are in countries where you want to go to for masters, reach out to them, ask them which schools are cheaper, which these are these, which ones are like which schools give me that flexibility to work and school, which school has a better grading system, like, and all that, because I know that for Coventry University almost wants to grade like Nigeria, so you have to extremely over impress the person to even get an A. I am telling you, you have to impress the person, impress their great grandparents, their great like, to like get an A, because if you don't impress them, it's straight up a C. Like, it's not a difficult score to give. If you don't apply the criticality to your work, you won't see the scores, no matter how hard you try. That's basically what they do. So basically that's it. So generally, start, like I said, start. Don't procrastinate. Let me break it down. To Japa, you don't necessarily have to have 10 million, 50 million, 100 million in your account saved up before you can Japa. You can start anywhere, because the process is not just one day. It doesn't just take one day. So while you are saving, you can start. And funny enough, there are systems in place such that if you can't meet up, you can always defer your admission. You can keep deferring till like you are financially stable and comfortable. And one thing I would always like, yes, I skipped it, say what you missed out on that you don't like others, please sort out your accommodation even before you enter any flights and you're coming to the UK. Hotel bills, when you finish paying them, funny enough, it's as if maybe the hotel people are just, like, once you get in here in your hotel accommodation, you even find it more difficult getting your accommodation, because it's as if maybe there's like one force telling you that you will not get an accommodation, you will stay in this hotel and be paying this. So try as much as you can, especially if you have people where you're going to, and please try to secure admissions in country where you have people, where you know that you have friends that you can count on, friends that you can call to when you need help, because it is not funny when you go to a strange place where it's just you don't know A, you don't know B, because I have experienced it. Like, it can break you down, like it can shatter your mental health. So I would not advise anybody to do that alone again. So please ask questions, reach out to people. And when I mean ask questions, it's not stupid questions. Please ask reasonable questions, do your research, then reach out to people. I know that oftentimes we Nigerians were entitled. Like, I've literally had someone just email me or text me and say, oh, I'm looking for accommodation, find accommodation for me. No, that's not the question I want you to ask. Yes, oh, hi Nikki, I have reached out to an accommodation platform in the UK. I've secured the accommodation, but I've booked a viewing date. I just need someone to help me go view the apartment and see if it's okay. Yes, those are the things you can ask people for. You don't ask people that have things they are doing to go and be searching for accommodation for you. It doesn't work that way. So ask wise questions and start. Make sure that whatever program you want to run in the UK, whatever master's degree you want to go for, do your best. Please do your best so that you don't regret it. And funny enough, I always tell people, the money you pay should even be a motivating factor to you. The school fees you pay is a huge money. So like, it's just like when I completed paying my school fees, that was even when I got the conviction that this thing must be a distinction. Do you know how much this thing is? Do you know what I would have done with this money? And I use it and I say I want to do masters. Yeah, I must have to graduate with a distinction. So put in your best. Don't come to the UK and you get carried away by care jobs and how much they are paying, because eventually care job will not feed you forever. Like, eventually you come to a phase in your life where you realize that, oh, I'm actually educated, I'm a master's degree holder, so why am I still doing menial jobs instead of me to like be applying skills that I've learned? That's when you realize that you made a wrong decision. Like, you should have gotten skills and try to apply whatever you were taught in your masters. So basically that's it. I hope I didn't bore you guys with too many talks and a long story, but I just said let me just say it here and help one or two persons. Please put in your effort in your MSc. It doesn't hurt for you to do your coursework yourself. I've literally had people who gave their coursework to someone else or an agency to do for them. At the end of the day, they failed the coursework. Who you want hold? No, I have to break it down. Who you want hold? You go hold the person who do the coursework that he should probably that he should come and redo it and make you pass. And don't forget that once it has passed the first attempt, if you like have an A, it's no longer an A. It's the same system Nigeria operates in. Like, once it's a receipt or it's a carryover, it's no longer an A, it's a C on the dot. It can never be an A. So why do you want to waste all your money and waste all your resources. Like, I know back then when I was working and schooling, what I usually do is I already start my coursework ahead of time. Like, I'll just be doing bits and pieces. For 1 week to the coursework submission, I don't take shifts. Yes, I don't take shifts. If you like, promise me 1 million naira per hour. I don't take shift. All the places I work with, like all the agencies I work with, they know I don't take shift until I have finished. Like, they literally know the mean. They call me at those periods, they call me the mean Nikki. Nikki will never take any shift from me until she's done with her coursework. So I literally have to finish it, turn it in, then and I'll be like, oh, I'm available now, you can give me shift. Because that's the reason why I'm here. I wasn't here for the chickeny money I'm getting. I was here first for the masters and the money that I've put into it. So let that count for you. I know that we're all different. We have different things we aspire for. We have different things that are priority to us. But I feel if you put in this amount of money, it should be a top priority for you. You don't have an excuse not to graduate with a good grade. Like, it's just, except for us here in Coventry University that are facing a funny grading system that we just have to put up with. Like, even when you try your very, very best, like at some point it became like, I just knew that I was like, oh, me that I even thought that, oh, okay, a UK educational system is very fair. Like, it's what you've done that what you get. But sometimes it doesn't favor you. So like, it's always been a God factor for me. When I'm done, I've put in my best, I've sweat, I've mentally been drained to do that coursework. I just tell God, Father Lord, I can't put in this effort and then I'm coming with a C or something. No, it has to be an A. Like, it has to be a good grade that is worth it, that shows that, oh yes, she has put in the effort. And that's how it has always been. And I'm grateful to God. I'm not saying, oh, it was by my power, but I feel like the way the Bible says that faith without work is dead. You have prayed, Abby, God will answer your prayer, but you have to put in the effort and do the good job. Do I pray and go and sit down and I won't do anything? I won't do the coursework. I submit a blank sheet and expect that miraculously an angel would write something and so. No, I prayed. I said I wanted a good grade and I was doing. And funny enough, I'm this kind of a person that when I commit things I want to do to God, funny enough, I get insights. Like, I could just stay night and be like, this idea will just pop up. Sometimes we take it for granted and we feel like, oh, it's just our IQ giving us points, but I don't take it for granted. I just say, oh, thank you Lord Jesus for that point, and then I infuse it into my work, and then now I can relax. I can pack all the shifts I want to pack and I can work, because funny enough, it has paid off. It has paid off for me, so I have no regrets. I have no doubts. The results were very good and it paid off. My money paid off. My 16,600 paid off. Like, it was glaringly evident. So that's just my advice to everyone. Make the money worth it. Make what you've paid worth it. Make it worth it. Don't get yourself into any problem. Don't get mixed up with plagiarism and all that. I know that some people just had their own problems were not as a result of, oh, they did anything illegal or anything wrong. No, it was just like an error that just happened, something that they couldn't control. But there are things we have control of. Let's just try, like, delivering a good job. Just do it and let it go. Because I've literally seen people that immediately they got here, they were no longer attending classes, and I'm like, okay, so you came here to work, so why didn't you just stay at home and look for a sponsorship visa and then come? Let's just know that you came to work. Then you paid so amount for MSc program and nobody's seeing you in school, nobody's seeing you in class, like nobody's seeing you're not engaging, nothing, you know. But then it's not a miracle, because you can't compare A that attends classes, ask questions, get clarification, to B who doesn't attend classes and you feel like B should do better than A. It's not a mirage. Like, there are things literally they've had to say in classes that were not like in the coursework outline that basically we benefited from because we attended classes. The explanations we've got that made a very cumbersome stuff so simple because we attended classes. So attending classes is I won't say my being disciplined to academic work is just because of pharmacy school. No, I was born into a teaching home. Like, my both parents were teachers, so you can understand that they would never take no for an answer. Even as I was here, knowing fully well that I am responsible for my grades and I'm responsible for how I choose to live my life, I still have that fear, like, oh, what will my mom think if my results is like this? Like, what would she feel like my results? So basically, that's just, you just want to make them proud and make them happy and give them something to be happy about. So don't just come and mess up the opportunity and and just go. So guys, let's cut it here before I start preaching long sermon. So basically I'll keep you guys updated on, especially for the CVs, because yeah, I've literally also had to learn how to like arrange my CV, my LinkedIn profile and all that, just to showcase that, oh okay, this, I'm a scholar, I'm developing, I'm learning, I'm doing this and doing. So basically as 2023 unfolds, I'm going to still be sharing tips on how to get jobs, and then tips on also how to volunteer in places you're aspiring to, like the NHS and all that. I'll be sharing links on how to apply for the volunteer positions and all that, and also be serious about it, so that at the end of the day you can get the benefit of those skills that you have learned. So guys, this is where I say goodbye for now, and enjoy the rest of your day. I love you so much. Don't forget, Nikki is always open to questions, wise questions. I mean, I'm always open to answering your questions. As you see, for those of you that have reached out to me in 1 or 2 occasions, you see that I'm very prompt to responding to you. Yeah, because I feel someone was also prompt to responding to me. That's how I was here, or that's how I am better today. So I would always be prompt to responding to someone's question. So do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's keep our community growing and going to the permanent site. I love you all. See you next time. Bye.